if you think Bitcoin is going to go to 250,000, then you've got to probably expect another 20 to 30% on the S&P. I'm not looking for 20 to 30% in the S&P this year. Although if you look at the greed and fear index towards Bitcoin, it's moved to neutral at the moment.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention Trump coin, because usually when you see these meme coins come about, it becomes a rather dangerous signal. Again,
yeah, personally, I banked some a bit over 100,000 end of last year, but I'm still holding some.
Do you think that we might still see higher highs in the next several months?
If it goes to 200,000, I'll eat my hat.
All right, guys, hello and welcome. We're honored today to have our good friend and trader Charlie Burton of charlieburtontrading.com here with us in this video, where we're going to ask the question about Bitcoin. Where does Charlie think we could be heading for, in other words, the longer term picture on Bitcoin this year in 2025? And does he agree with the projection and prediction made by the YouTuber and analyst of Bitcoin, which is Plan B? Plan B thinks that Bitcoin could go to 250K, 270K this year in 2025. But do we agree? Do Charlie and I agree with this projection? Are we more bullish or are we less bullish? We shall discuss this in much more detail in this video. Join us. Guys, thank you very much indeed for watching our videos. Again, in this video, we can discuss some important charts of Bitcoin, should be quite interesting, and also our projection for Bitcoin, whether we agree with the long-term prediction made by Plan B about 270K. So how are you, by the way, Charlie? You well?
I'm okay. I've got a minor dose of man flu right now.
All right.
But other than that, I'm okay. Yeah, all good. I went skiing just a couple of weeks ago. So it was lovely being up in the Alps, in the mountains, just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I love skiing, so it's great.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I've been to the Alps, the Swiss Alps. I haven't been. Which Alps did you go to? The French Alps?
Austrian. Actually, Austrian. I was skiing in Austria.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Charlie. By the way, guys, before we go on to the charts, just want to quickly mention that Charlie Burton has a brand new trading signal service. It's worth checking out. I highly recommend, guys, you do check it out. Charlie gives you a free 7-day trial. That's completely free for 7 days. Go on this link you see right there. Again, no credit card, whatever card required. Go ahead on that link, bit.ly/Charlie Burton. That's a short link right there. Details in the description, by the way, guys. And again, you can go ahead and test drive Charlie Burton's brand new trading signal service called Smart Signals. Charlie will tell you more about that at the end of the video. Charlie, let's go on to the major projection that's made by Plan B, the YouTuber and analyst Plan B. By the way, let me just say that I respect him. I think he's a very intelligent guy. I don't necessarily agree with the stock-to-flow model, which is the model that he essentially uses for forecasting Bitcoin. I think he's a great guy. I think he's an intelligent guy. So I'm not criticizing about that. But overall, his prediction for Bitcoin for this year in 2025 is based on the stock-to-flow model. And his projection, by the way, is 270K or 250K based on his latest February video.
3 times 40% would bring us from 100K to 270K, which is about here somewhere. This is the 300K line. So that's the absolute minimum Bitcoin price that I expect in 2025, 270,000.
The reason why I don't agree with the stock-to-flow model is because it's linear. It assumes a linear market. If Plan B thinks I'm wrong about that, then by all means I stand corrected. He can correct me on that. But if I'm not mistaken, the stock-to-flow model, the major problem that I have with it is it assumes a linear market. The fact is, though, as we know, markets are non-linear. They're chaotic. They're unpredictable. So that's the reason why I don't necessarily follow the stock-to-flow model. I follow models which assume a non-linear chaotic market, which is essentially what Elliott wave theory does. But nevertheless, putting that aside, again, Plan B has this projection for 270K, 250K. Again, he could be right. Personally, I don't think he is right about that. Again, I respectfully disagree. I don't think we're going to 250K or 270K. But maybe you have a different view, Charlie. What is your view for 2025 for this year? I'm wondering if you want to put your hat on the line. By the way, some people, let me say, Charlie, some people have...
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, some people have unfairly said in the previous video that I did with you about Bitcoin, they said, hey, Charlie, you should eat your hat. But actually, no, because you were correct. Last year in 2024, you did say that Bitcoin was going to go to 100K.
But I think the ingredients are there for a run to 6 figures in 2024. Yeah, I can see the potential for that.
So you were absolutely right. So there's no reason for you to eat your hat.
I had one ready as well. I had a hat ready. It
you
didn't
had a
get
hat
to
ready.
eat it.
Yeah. Are you as bullish as Plan B is for a projection or a prediction for Bitcoin to 250K, 270K for this year in 2025 on Bitcoin?
No. No, only, again, everything is a view in the markets, and we all have to take our evidence-based
Yeah.
approach to form that view. So everyone's going to have different views. I'm sure there's
Sure.
others out there who are looking
Yeah.
for Bitcoin to be even higher. I think the conditions for Bitcoin to go to those sorts of levels is then you've got to also look at the stock market. So really,
Yeah.
you've got to be saying, okay, if you think Bitcoin is going to go to 250,000, then you've got to probably expect another 20 to 30% on the S&P. I'm not looking for 20 to 30% in the S&P this year, and so I don't see those sorts of levels. So for me, as a short answer, yeah, I can't see it. Anything can happen, of course, but those sorts of models, he wasn't right. I was
Yeah.
told at one, and he admitted it last year with his stop to flow. He had to make adjustments, and that's normal. You can't be right 100% at the time. Doesn't matter what you're doing. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean to say that it's going to be that prediction is going to be correct. So we'll have to see. But yeah, last year, as you know, I was quite bullish, and it seems easy now. Oh, yeah, now the Bitcoin's at 100,000, but we were talking about Bitcoin when it was in the 30s and going to 100,000, and that for a lot of people seemed unrealistic. But I think the potential was there in line with the stock markets as well. I just think for that sort of level, for me, it's a harder
Yeah.
sell, so to speak, to me at the moment for Bitcoin to go that far this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me just say that as we're making this video, Bitcoin is just hovering over 90K. I think at the moment, as we're making this video, Bitcoin is currently near 94, 95K approximately. What I'm looking at on the chart of Bitcoin at the moment seems to be a pullback structure, sort of an ABC pullback structure. But overall, for this year in 2025, I still think we have more upside as long as Bitcoin stays above key support, as long as it does not drop below key support levels, which I've mentioned, by the way, in the member video. But bottom line is that I think we could, once this correction is out of the way, I think in the next several months, the next several weeks and months, we may see higher levels. I agree with you. I don't think we're going to go to 270K or 250K. Again, I mentioned my key targets in the member video, so go ahead and watch that, guys, if you haven't seen that.
Oh,
But
I'll eat my hat if it
Yeah.
goes to 200,000. There you go.
Oh, really?
I'm determined to eat this hat of mine. So this time I'm less bullish than last year. So yeah, if it goes to 200,000, I'll eat my hat. This year, that is.
This year, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you don't see 200,000 this year even as a possibility or probability. I think that's really interesting. Yeah.
No.
Um,
Look, anything can happen, as we keep saying, but
Yeah.
the overall investment environment right now,
yeah.
overall, again, we've seen a lot from a sentiment perspective, a lot of bullishness overall towards cryptos.
Yeah.
And although if you look at the greed and fear index towards Bitcoin, it's moved to neutral at the moment. But overall, we're seeing a lot of people investing in meme coins. You've got Trump coin.
Oh, yeah.
We're in this, it still feels
Yeah.
from a sentiment perspective overall in this world of NFTs and all
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
stuff. You just think, I just don't know whether we're going to double again. Not at the moment, not for the time, at the time being. So I'm going to make that as my bench line, that I don't think we're going to double to 200,000 in 2025.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention Trump coin, because usually when you see these meme coins come about, it becomes a rather danger signal. Again, it's nothing political. I don't care. I don't care either way about politics or who's president or not. But usually when you see these meme coins come about, I remember some years ago when Dogecoin, again, the joke, it was made as a joke, that went skyrocketed higher, and then it peaked just about the same time I think Bitcoin was about to peak near 60,000 before then dropped by 50%. So yeah, these are very important danger signals we should pay attention to. I agree with you. Do you see what's going on in Bitcoin right now as a consolidation, as a correction or pullback before we go higher? I'm assuming you don't think Bitcoin is top then. You don't see what's going on in Bitcoin right now as a top. Do you think that we might still see higher highs in the next several months?
Yeah, I think the scope is there for it. If I thought it had topped, I would have sold out. I've still, personally, I banked some a bit over 100,000 end of last year, but I'm still holding some because it's an asset class after all. So I want to have exposure to that asset class. I'm looking for a bit more of a retracement in the next, whatever, couple of months, maybe. But I'd still see it. It's still very much in a bull market. So until proven otherwise, it's in a bull market. And so as far as I'm concerned, pullbacks are there as an opportunity.
Yeah, overall I agree with you. So in a nutshell, guys, no, I don't think, again, I don't agree with Plan B on his projection for 250K or 270K. Again, no disrespect to Plan B. As I mentioned, I think he's a very knowledgeable and intelligent guy. I just disagree with him on his projection based on the model. I don't think it's likely. I think Charlie is also correct. I don't think it's likely that Bitcoin is going to go over 200K. By the way, guys, do check out Charlie Burton's new trading signal service, which I mentioned earlier as well. It's called Smart Signals. Charlie will give you more information about it in just a few moments, but make sure you go ahead and, again, go ahead and check it out for free on that link you see right there. It's also in the description as well. That's bit.ly/Charlie Burton. It's a short link. When you go on that link, go ahead and check it out. Take it for a test drive. It's 7 days free trial, no cards required whatsoever, no payment required. 7 days free trial of his Smart Signal service. Charlie, give us some information about what's involved in your new trading signal service.
Well, it was 7 years in the making with my developer. It's artificial intelligence based, statistically based trading signals. So the AI has done over 1 billion computations to come up with relatively high win rate trading strategies across multiple asset classes: FX, crypto, gold, stock market indices. And it just produces trade signals, all fully automated with charts saying with the exact risk per trade. You've got little risk calculators, where to put your stop loss, the entry, the targets, and the probability of outcome per trade as well. So it's a very cool piece of software. And you've got full training videos. They're all little 2-minute videos on there, just showing people how to actually use the signals and how to actually go about placing the trades and using calculators and all that sort of stuff. Very, very cool. Plus, you've got me behind the scenes monitoring the systems. And of course, as different markets might come in, which might all of a sudden go into big bullish trends, I'm going to want to switch on one of the systems that is geared for bullish trends in that given market. So I'm always going to be monitoring it behind the scenes as well. So there's full support. It's just nice because people can trial it, no risk, don't have to put a credit card or anything in, just give it a go and see if it works around you, because most people, or many people these days, are lacking in time. They don't have the same sort of time to analyze the markets that I have, and they just want to be able to take a couple of trade signals perhaps per day over a course of a week, and then get on with their days and know that they've got statistical probability backed trades. So that's really what it is.
I'm assuming it covers crypto as well, Bitcoin and crypto as well.
Yeah. In fact, it was just spitting out some trades on Saturday on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So yes, it does cover crypto, forex, stock indices. So the broad spectrum, gold, for example, as well, commodities. So yeah, broad spectrum of markets that it covers. And so yeah.
Sure. So guys, once again, check out the free 7-day trial link. That's right there, bit.ly/Charlie Burton. Go ahead on that link and subscribe to Charlie Burton's Smart Signal service, again, for free for 7 days. As I mentioned before, Charlie Burton is one of the few people out there I trust when it comes to trading analysis. So again, I highly recommend you try out and check out Charlie's Smart Signal service. Thank you very much, Charlie. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Alessio. Yep, thanks for having me on.